What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I should actually welcome myself back to the channel because it's been so long since I've done any content. That absolutely bothers me, and I hate it because I've been away. I love recording with my buddy Randy. We did it for fun for a while. We both got real busy just getting some promotions at work and whatnot. But I just want to get back and start making content again. Something that's been on my mind lately is I want to talk about the MVP race going on in the NBA right now. If you're not familiar with it, it is essentially the candidates that are up for it right now. Is you have Steph Curry and James Harden. Those are the top two candidates right now. LeBron and Russell Westbrook. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it in other videos and whatnot. I think I have, but I grew up in between Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So I'm a big Pittsburgh fan with everything. But when it comes to basketball, since I don't have a basketball team, I'm a big Cavaliers fan. I grew up watching them on TV, and I grew up with just going to the games. I've been to tons of games, especially when I lived in Cleveland for a while. Got to watch LeBron play. So for me to say that LeBron does not deserve the MVP this season says a lot because I am loyal to that team. However, I just don't feel that this season reflects him being the best player in the game. He is the greatest player in the game. He is the greatest player in the world. He has assets that most people wish couldn't even develop one of his skills, let alone all. His skill set is so high. However, I do not feel that this season exemplifies that. So I would rule him out. I would also rule out Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook. I feel like without KD, he had a shoulder to the team. And his triple doubles are just remarkable. I can't remember seeing that happen before, that many triple doubles in such a short time span. However, I feel that jacking up 40 shots a game is pretty predictable. You know he's always going to take it to the rim, and he's always going to shoot. And I don't necessarily like that style of play. I'd rather him get his team involved. I know he's getting the assists, and I know he's getting the rebounds and along those lines, but I just don't feel he's been nearly as consistent as the other couple players on the list. Don't get me wrong, Russell Westbrook is one of my favorite players. I just don't feel that this season should be his MVP. I do feel that he does have the opportunity and the skill to win an MVP. I just don't feel it's this season. Essentially, it boils down to James Harden, and it boils down to Steph Curry. My personal opinion, my vote would go to Steph Curry. And to be honest with you, it's a long shot. I think he's well ahead of the pack, and let me explain why. When I think of James Harden, I love James Harden. The beard, he's the man. Dude's offense is off the hook. He can score at will, and I just love watching him play. He's electrifying. However, I hear a lot of people saying that he gets a lot of credit because Dwight Howard has been sitting out this season with an injury. My question is, how many people really remember Dwight Howard is even in the league, to be honest with you? I mean, granted, I watch the East, not as much as I watch the East because I'm in the East. I do pay attention to the West, but I don't follow a few teams. Like, I get it. I'm more so paying attention to my Cleveland and Washington and teams like that in Chicago. And I don't necessarily pay too much attention to the West. Maybe Dwight Howard means more to somebody from the West. But as much as I like the guy, as much as I feel like he does have enough ability to be a top 10 or top 15 player in this league, I don't feel that he is. I feel that it's in his hands. If he wanted to be one of the top players, he could. But I just don't feel that he is right now, and especially with him being out. So I know a lot of people are saying that James Harden is carrying the team without Dwight Howard, but I feel he would have done that anyway with Dwight Howard. But Dwight, like I said, I like Dwight Howard. I just don't feel that they lost that much. He can be a force. He just needs to choose to be. But as far as James Harden, he's the man. I feel like he's put up a great fight, but I don't feel he's been nearly as consistent as Steph Curry. Steph Curry, let me tell you something, man. You are lights out. You can get hot at any given point, knocking 10, 15 threes without even blinking an eye. And he's so cool about it. Just knocks them in, no big deal. He's consistent on the free throw line. His handles are just off the hook this season. Like, Kyrie Irving has the best handles in the league, but Steph is definitely competing this year. And I don't necessarily consider when he made Chris Paul, when he shaked him and Chris Paul stepped on his foot, I don't necessarily feel that he was like crossing him over or anything like that, but I feel like he could have. He has that type of ability where he can make other superstars miss, and that's how he's been playing consistently all season long. We've seen that from game 1 all the way to game 82. That's how it's going to be the whole season. And as a Cavs fan, not only do I want to see my Cavs make the finals, but I would love to see the Warriors make the finals. I would love to see LeBron versus Steph in their teams. I would love that. That would be such a good finals for me to watch. Another point I wanted to make is Steph. They say that he's the best player on the best team, and he is. However, if he was not on the Warriors, I think the Warriors would be a great team. They could potentially make the playoffs, possibly maybe a 7 or an 8 seed in the West. In the East, it'd be a different story. They may be a little bit higher, but I think without him, they'd be suffering. They'd be suffering a lot, and I really feel that's the type of game he brings to the table. I feel like he is a great player and just an all-around great guy. I love not only the commercials and stuff he makes, but his home life, his family life. He stays out of the news when it comes to, misbehaving and stuff like that. I like the way the guy plays the game all around. I think he's a good role model, and I feel that this season the MVP trophy should be his. With that being said, that's my opinion this time, and I appreciate y'all tuning in, seeing what I have to say. I will try to do my best to make more content soon because I love the NBA. I absolutely love the NBA. I love watching it. I love talking about it. It's all I talk about all day long. And I'm sure my friends and my coworkers are absolutely sick of hearing it. But I love the NBA. I'm ready to see the MVP go to Steph Curry, and I'd love to see my Cavs and the Warriors get to the finals. So, guys, make that happen and go Cavs. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.